Hello there. Welcome to our Reykjavík Newscast, Reykjavík Breakfast Newscast. Sorry, I'm eating. I'm actually reading a brilliant book. This is Birth of a Volcano, and we have it, of course, in our store. And if you want to check more, it's absolutely brilliant. Show them art. It's just pictures of the volcano with brilliant points here, like captions. And I love this book because, well, it fits in my pockets, basically. I love the art of pocketbooks. Also, this is actually lava. I grew up with this. This is like very Icelandic candy. And as all teenagers know this very well. It's not healthy for you, but it's very good. So if you want to get this, I think of course we have like these huge volcano packages, but you perhaps could buy some candy actually at our store. I want to apologize a little bit before we start. We haven't been with you for a while. The reason is, of course, because we're always doing this goddamn magazine. We're also journalists, you know. This means that we haven't been able to do any newscast. We've also been doing this magazine, like extra magazine called Best Of. You can even buy our older ones in our online store. It's basically just about where the best places are in Reykjavík. We have a panel for this, and it's a huge work. And also we're going, of course, to the volcano tomorrow, and you can see it on Thursday. But news. There has been a lot of news, and I'm going to tell you all about it just right now. Why we are here? We are in Laugardalur. Behind me, in front of me, where I'm pointing out now. This is, of course, Laugardalur. It's on the other side, and our sport arena is there, our national football field. The reason is because that in a house that we will pass soon is KSI. It's basically the Icelandic Football Association, and they have been hit by a huge scandal, and it's been so huge that both the chairman as well as the whole board have resigned because of this case. I'm gonna try to explain this a little bit for you. It's a complicated thing, but still not really. First of all, you remember, of course, I've been talking about this Me Too like 3.0 in Iceland. There has been like these scandals here and there the past months, but it really became big just last week and the week before when the chairman of this house over there, his name is Guðni Bergsson. He was actually a quite stand-up guy, he seemed. He's a lawyer, he's very well known, also an ex-football player. And this guy went to interview at RVK, our national broadcast, in a show called Glacial. And the reason was because of allegations. They were very unclear, these allegations at that time, that there have been, that KSI, this association, had been silencing women that have been abused or just straight up raped by people that was in our national team of football. This Guðni said that this was not, I mean, he didn't know about these cases, of course. He said that they had no information about it at all. And he said like if this would happen, of course, they would take a stance against violence. Now, he said this publicly, but the thing is that only a day later, or 2 days later, a young woman came into the media and she said that she made like a, what would you call it, like a deal with a man that assaulted her at a restaurant. She said that he not only grabbed her throat, but he literally did what Donald Trump did, or said he did, like grabbed her by the pee, yeah. Let's just say pussy, right? Anyways, this was quite the assault, happened 2017, and she pressed charges at the time to the police. But KSI, as well as this man's attorneys, they struck a deal with her actually in the end. And she said that she just wanted to make him accountable for it. And he said that he definitely said that he was guilty of what he did. But afterwards he said actually that he did not recognize her description of the violence. It became very muddy very quickly. But what matters here is that the chairman of KSÍ, or the Icelandic Football Association, he lied. And everything went ballistic. This meant that, by the way, this footballer, his name is actually Kolbeinn Sigþórsson. This is still an ongoing case in Göteborg in Sweden. He's playing with his team, RVK Göteborg. And this is just, it's a hard case there also. And the supporters of the team want him out of it. So he could be losing his living, could be losing his job. And perhaps rightly so, but it's not about him exactly, it's about KSI, because this house here, they are said to have, in one way or another, silenced 5 different cases of violence. One of these cases are actually gang rape that happened in Denmark in 2010. This is a horrific case, and these men haven't been named yet. But nobody really knows if that case have gone to the police again. The woman herself said that she spoke to the police at the time, but she was discouraged to keep on with pressing her charges. For the assault happened in another country, and everything was so complicated. It would be just the most simple thing was just to drop it. This is, of course, something that Icelanders found very horrific and appalled by. So in the end, KSI, KSÍ, all the guys that the chairman, he had to resign. The whole members, what do you call it? The board of this association also had to go. And ironically also, like, there were 17 people in the board with if I count the chairman with it, and there were like 2 women in it, and that was a scandal in itself. So right now they are kind of making things. They are basically cleaning this house of all of this mess, and there's been a PR nightmare for these guys, and it will be interesting to see how it will play out. Right now, they say that they have like a committee, a new one, that will revise these cases and go over it. The chairman of that committee is a woman. She's pretty well known in Iceland and perhaps trustworthy. She still is, at least. But these things have been changing a lot, and it's a nasty case. And I don't know what to say about it more, but it's Icelanders have been appalled at how this Icelandic Football Association, it feels like they've been living in a cave the past 10, 15 years. Nothing has changed there. They have not been keeping up with the times, basically. Even the national church in Iceland is doing much better in all of this, and that says a lot, actually. So, if you go to the next thing. Floods in the south. We have floods near Kirkjubæjarklaustur, and these floods have been known to be cutting off the roads, but we don't think it's going to be dangerous this time. It's big, but it's not as big as it has been often before. And just like those that are traveling to the south of Iceland right now, it will peak tomorrow. And tomorrow is Wednesday, 10th of September, I think. No, 8th of September. Wow, I have no idea. What date is today, Art? He just smiles. He never answered me. Have you noticed that? Anyways, these floods are coming from the Vatnajökull Glacier in a place we specifically call Skaftárketill. I know it sounds like Chinese for you, of course, but it's quite dramatic to see the pictures. It's like you can see how the glacier just is like going down some of the area, and they say it's gone 60 meters down, like in the highest points, meaning that the water that was there is now just flooding into these rivers. And if you actually visited the south of Iceland, you often see these huge bridges that we can go over like huge areas, but there is nothing like no rivers, like small perhaps river going on there. But the rivers are there, these bridges are there because every now and then this happens and these floods become massive. So it's actually, if you're in the south, it would be interesting to see it. Just be really careful about it. And then to the COVID. COVID is good. Although we have had 3 new deaths, which is quite tragic. Of these 3 new deaths, we had 2 of them were actually tourists. One of them was vaccinated, the other one not, and we don't have much information about the 3rd death, or I haven't noticed at least. But the thing about these COVID right now is that it is going very steadily down. We had, for example, 25 cases yesterday, and there are like just under half of the cases are not vaccinated, but most people that are getting the virus are actually vaccinated, which is good because they are in much better situation to deal with the virus if they're vaccinated. We still have, of course, the 200 people gathering restrictions, but there are talks now that there is no need for this. Even the hospital is not that sure about that this is helping at all. It doesn't really matter. What really helps here is that everyone here is vaccinated. We have 84% over 12 years old that is vaccinated, and the rest is more or less just had it before and have the PCR after getting the virus before. So these numbers are probably around 90% now. So we are actually pretty good. Iceland has not been this fine, what do we say, not natural, like there hasn't been this basic, that's not a good word either, well, for 2 years almost. So it's quite something. You can go back to the theater. There are huge theater coming up in Iceland, and it's a nice time to be here right now. Still, Iceland Airwaves actually cancelled because of all of this. Which is interesting, and you know, of course, that Iceland, like Reykjavík and Iceland Airwaves, we have been good friends for 2 decades now, and we always do this extra paper with them. And our newest issue would have been filled with Airwaves news, but not this time. The promoters that are running the show, they say that the reason that they cancelled is just the lack of future vision when it comes to the government. They have not been discussing how we are going to deal with this virus. Now we have vaccinated almost everyone. 200 people gathering ban is perhaps it's not very viable for concerts, obviously, so they said that this is way too much of a risk to have a concert like this at the same time as they could just say a month from now, oh, we're just going to have a 100 people gathering ban or something like that. So everybody, the companies and others, are asking the government now to say, how do you want to have this next perhaps 6 months? Because now for the first time, perhaps in 18 months, we are able to make better plans than we used to. And we all know, of course, I mean, when we were trying to make plans just 2 months ago, it always went straight to I wouldn't say shit, but yeah, that was still basically what happened. So we are, of course, there's a fine moment going on right now, but it's perhaps there is uncertainty in the air, and the elections are coming up, and there are actually talks about releasing, like, have no domestic restrictions at all. And I think that will be the case actually before the end of the month. So, but don't believe me, go to covid.is, of course, Google it before and so on. We never know, of course, what will happen. And finally, of course, Askja. Askja is a volcano. And if you've been in Viti, which is northeast of Iceland, it's just below, like just above the corner of our glacier, Vatnajökull. Viti actually accidentally its English name is Hell, but it's a wonderful place. It's like a pool. You can Google it. It's the most beautiful place on earth, in my opinion. Anyways, it could be an eruption there, a volcano. And not only that, but a volcano at the same time as Fagradalsfjall's volcano. That means that we would have two volcanoes at the same time, which is quite unique, to be honest. There have been unrest in the earth there, earthquakes. They have been seeing signs of that could be that the mountain there, the volcano station, is preparing for a volcano. And if this would happen, it would not be like Eyjafjallajökull or anything violent like that. It would be very similar to what we are seeing actually in Fagradalsfjall. It would be a fissure eruption, and of course it's so high in the highlands that nobody would even notice when it was going on. So it's a convenient place if you think about that, but it's a tougher place if you want to visit it, because it's just not easy to go there, to be honest. Where's Polly, by the way? Oh, she went there. Okay. So this volcano erupted the last time in 1961. It erupts like 3 times a century, most often. But now it's way overdue, actually. So scientists are saying, I mean, there's actually a pretty good odds that it will go off. And although it wouldn't be much, it would be very interesting just to see 2 active volcanoes in Iceland at the same time. This volcano is often very short. It's a few weeks, the lifespan of this volcano. So it's at least historically, so it wouldn't be much of a nuisance. But you could actually go into a hot pool there and watch it, which is absolutely insane. So keep in mind. But of course, if it happens, please Google it and please be careful about everything. So this is it for our newscast. Once again, remember our stores. Please try this, try it. I absolutely love it. It's the only candy well, not perhaps only, but I love this snack. And once again, my pocketbook. Before we go, you can watch this. But on Thursday, we will actually show you the volcano. It's been odd. It's been in the longest pause from the beginning. It's been like 4 or 5 days. So let's hope it actually goes off again. Yeah, it's a wonderful day, by the way. It was raining like hell yesterday and today. But then again, I had Mike Richards in my walking tour, and I think he's a rain god, to be honest. So let's. Yeah. Thank you and thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, Agus, but only if you like it. And yeah, Polly, kasta.